My name is Chris Farrell, live in Los Angeles, and I hope you're ready because for the next 75 minutes or so, the next 75 minutes, as dramatic as this may sound, is really going to save you about 75 days of sweating and struggling online. So let's jump in straight away, shall we? And I hope you have a pen and some paper to make some notes because I'm about to introduce you to our special guest in a few moments' time. Just before I do, let's just quickly talk about why we are even giving up our time and being here on this webinar together. The most important aspect of any business, on or indeed offline, is being able to continually generate new leads. In fact, my number one activity online, the thing that I spend my time online doing more than anything else, is building my list, but not only building my list, but working on nurturing a relationship with that list as well. And I know I talk about this all the time because it is that important. Now, I don't know about you. Let me know if this sounds like something you can relate to. But recently, I found myself almost, well, to be perfectly honest with you, almost getting a bit down about how I was continually hearing how amazing Facebook is to position ourselves directly in front of people that are interested in whatever our business or our future business is going to be about. And whereas it sounded great, I found myself thinking all the time, yes, but, you know, how do I do this? How do I do this? It's all very well for somebody to say Facebook is great to generate leads and help us build our list and help us make sales, but how do we do this? I'm one of these people that really needs, when I learn something, I need a step-by-step breakdown. Are you the same? Maybe you can let me know in the question window. Do you get infuriated and frustrated when you hear somebody say, you know, use Facebook to build your list to make more sales? Sounds great, but how do we do it? That's the key thing, and that's the missing piece, at least as far as I was concerned. And so what I decided to do, and if you received my email yesterday, I briefly mentioned this in this email, I decided simply to just immerse myself and start to study Facebook advertising. Now again, full transparency, I've only recently begun this. In fact, I only started at the end of February, so I certainly am still learning, and I certainly do count myself a newcomer when it comes to using Facebook to generate leads. But I have to tell you, and you might have read this in my email yesterday, coincidentally, when I sent the email, it was my first day where in 24 hours I added 100 leads to my list, all from Facebook. 100 leads in 24 hours, all using Facebook. It was amazing. And as another coincidence would have it, I'm also in a mastermind group at the moment. That's where a handful of people get together and support each other and help each other with our businesses. And the people in this mastermind are just simply the nicest, supportive people that I've met online. They all have different skill sets, which is why the mastermind works so well. And one person in this mastermind is the world famous Amy Porterfield, the super wonderful Amy Porterfield. Now, Amy is going to be our special guest today. She's going to be here in a couple of moments' time. Just before I introduce you to Amy, let me quickly just tell you about her in case you are unsure. Who is this beautiful looking girl? Who is Amy Porterfield? Well, Amy is an international social media speaker. She's an advisor, and she's a foremost expert on Facebook, which is why she is giving up her time to help us today on this webinar. She's also been named as one of the Forbes Top 50 Social Media Power Influencers, which is just incredible. Aside from that, Amy has taught, and this is probably what excites me the most, Amy has taught thousands of business owners like you and I all around the world how to grow their business using Facebook. And if you're thinking, well, I don't yet have an online business, well, that's okay. If you want to start online, this is the smart way to begin, and Amy will be going through this in a few moments' time. Amy is also the co-author of the Dummies book, Facebook Marketing All-in-One. So what I'm really saying here is you have made a great decision being here, giving up your time for this webinar, because when it comes to growing our business or creating a business using Facebook, Amy is the daddy. And also, there's a quick few other things about Amy that that you possibly may not know. I don't think she'll mind me sharing, but Amy, I don't think she kept this right. She dated Justin Bieber for a while, and you might have seen her in the papers last year. I think this was at the Oscars. I'm not too sure. So she was in the papers quite a lot for that. She's very, very humble. She keeps this really quiet. Amy was also the third person to walk on the moon. Can you believe? which I found amazing. Here's a picture of her with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Again, she keeps this so quiet. She's that sort of humble person. And something else that I only discovered recently was she, at the Olympics in London a couple of years ago, she actually lit the Olympic flame for the whole world to see. So she really is multi-talented, and I'm thrilled that she's here to give up her time. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please could I ask you to give a big round of applause and welcome for Amy Porterfield is here.
Oh my God.
She's
You're
here.
killing me, Chris. You're killing me. I am trying not to laugh so you could get it out, and I have like tears streaming down my face.
Well,
so how did you know I did all that? I try not to tell anybody.
No, that's why I really admire you, because you're so humble, and that's what I like about you. In fact, would you mind, Amy? I hope you don't. I know I'm throwing you a bit of a curveball. Could I just share that other thing that you mentioned?
Oh no.
Do you mind?
What?
Well, Amy,
I'm so nervous.
Not many people know Amy was originally cast opposite George Clooney in Gravity, but she had to pull out at the last moment due to. What was it like working with George?
I can't believe this picture got leaked.
Yeah.
It was just one quick selfie I did, and then look what happened.
But it didn't stop you winning the Oscar, though, did it? So that was
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was pretty. I think that was your third Oscar winner. And look, finally, obviously I do want to jump into Facebook. One thing that I think was kind of the pinnacle was I love, Amy, how you kept quiet, that band that you formed years ago.
I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. What?
That band with
just show it.
Those three other Brits. Was it John, Paul, Ringo, and Amy?
Oh no!
I just thought.
I
thought that was.
No.
Just
wow, that is a snazzy outfit I have on.
Isn't
Good
it,
thing
though?
You chose the blue for me. Yes.
Thank
My
you.
hair looks amazing in all these pictures.
Amy,
wow.
You are a great sport, and we are really excited and thrilled to have you here. I know you're running around the world literally teaching this sort of stuff. And what's more exciting than that is that I know so many people that have gone through your training and have results to show. And at the end of the day, that is what counts. So thank you for giving up your time and joining us here today, Amy.
Well, thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it. I'm ready to get going.
Fabulous. So what we're going to do is I just need to click a quick little button at this end. And so the deal is, Amy, I'm sort of handing the baton over to Amy, as I mentioned before and in the email that I sent you about this webinar. I will still be here, but Amy is really going to kind of present, if you like, and I will certainly be here as well, chipping in, but no more ridiculous photos, you'll be pleased to know, Amy, he says.
Okay, so let's see here. You're scaring me a little. There better not be any at the end.
You know me far too well.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so tell me this. Before you go, Chris, tell me, can you see my screen full screen?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay,
so,
great.
It's all looking good,
Then
yes.
I am ready. Thank you so very much, Chris, for having me.
Not at all. Well, thank you, Amy.
So let's go ahead and dive in. Now that you know my whole history and you know how very famous I am, I better deliver a very, very good training right now. So again, thank you for being here. I know your time is valuable and you cannot get it back. So I'm going to make it worth every minute of your time with me today. So this is how to create an easy to implement Facebook marketing plan that really works. And if you want to talk about this training all over the web, Chris and I would greatly appreciate it. All you need to do is use the hashtag FBWorkshop. Afterwards, I'd love to jump off and see what everyone had to say. So use that hashtag so I can find you online. Now, you are in the right place right this minute if you can identify with, let's say, any 4 of these scenarios here. First, you know you need to be on Facebook, but you are not really sure which way to go. You might even feel a little bit stuck. Or maybe your efforts to grow your email list feel painfully slow. Believe me, I've been there, so I can relate. Maybe you're frustrated with Facebook, but you are still holding out hope that it will start to work for you. If that's you, I'm glad you haven't completely given up. Stick with me. I think I'm going to get you excited about some new opportunities. Or you just want to be told what to do and how to do it to see results on Facebook. So you might be here because you're looking for more fans, more leads, and more sales. So here is what you're going to learn right now. First, I'm going to show you how to narrow down your search on Facebook. So you're actually looking for that perfect customer profile. You're searching for those Facebook users who are, now get this, highly likely to become your next happy customer. That is what we want. Today, you'll also learn how to create a quick and easy Facebook list building funnel. Now, I'm specifically going to show you how to turn $50 into $200 every single day. I'll break it down for you. Also, you're going to discover the 5 emails you need to turn your leads into paying customers. So we're going to put this on autopilot so you really understand. Today, you're going to learn a strategy, the framework of a strategy, so you can see how it really comes together. So at the end of this training, you will know the only 7 steps you need to create a Facebook marketing plan that really works. Now, stay till the very end, because I have this brand new live online training I'm doing where I take people backstage to show them how I do my launches, but not everybody can grab this free ticket. So I'll tell you how to get your hands on it at the very end.
Nice.
So let me tell you why I am completely obsessed with Facebook. The thing is, you might have never been on one of my webinars, especially if you first know Chris and he invited you here. So here's what I want you to know. Why do I teach Facebook? Well, I started my marketing career at Harley-Davidson Motorcycles. And thank God Chris did not have any pictures of this, because I am not a biker chick, Chris.
The
so get it
webinar's
through your
still
head.
in its early few minutes. There's still time.
Oh, please don't even think about it. So I always say I'm not a biker chick, but I was there during their 100th anniversary. And if you ever want to learn how to market, you want to market to fanatics like the people at Harley. They tattoo the logo on their bodies. I mean, this is the place to learn. But then I got a little bit of a shell shock because I went on to work for peak performance coach Tony Robbins. This is a picture of us at his very last infomercial we shot in Fiji with Magnum PI. I know, a little bit weird, but this was a really fun time. I was there 6.5 years as the director of content development. There, I learned everything I needed to learn about creating stories and content and moving people to action. I took everything Tony taught me, and I started my own consulting business with my big first client being Mike Stelzner of Social Media Examiner. I helped him build his Facebook page from 0 to 30,000 fans in 1 year. And this was a few years ago, so that was a really big fan jump. The reason I tell you this is I documented everything that worked. His page is extremely lucrative today. I'm going to share some of those secrets with you. And as Chris mentioned, I co-authored the book, Facebook Marketing All-in-One for Dummies. So I pretty much sleep, breathe, and eat Facebook marketing. Now, I teach this stuff because I've seen it work personally and with my students. Back in 2011, I had a list of about 600 people, and I was really struggling to grow that email list. And then something happened in my life that I thought, okay, and I'll share that with you in a moment, but I thought I've got to get this under control. I need a list. So I skyrocketed my list building efforts, and today I have over 80,000 fans and are subscribers on my email list that I get to communicate with every single week. Now, because I have this email list, I also have seen my profits skyrocket. So I went from 2011 to 2012 with an increase of 118% in my revenue. This last year, I went from 2012 to 2013 with a 300% increase in my revenue. This stuff works. I'm going to literally show you how I did this. Now, to get very specific with you and to be really honest why I'm obsessed, Chris is a little bit aware of this success here because he was in our mastermind where we talked about this. I recently started a campaign where I use a free giveaway and a $97 product. And I run a campaign inside of Facebook every single day. Every day I put about $200 into the campaign. And at the end of the last 28 days, this is what I got out of the campaign. So over $35,000 in one campaign. Now, I'm going to break this down for you so you see how I did it, because you might be surprised how actually easy it is once you see the big picture. I'll get back to that though. Now, I got to get a little bit sappy on you right now because I had mentioned something happened back in 2011 that made me think I better get this under control. And what happened was my husband came to me when he was 38 years old and he said, Amy, I want to switch careers. I no longer want to do what I'm doing. I want to follow a dream that I've always had to become a firefighter. Now, at the time when he told me this, in my head, secretly, I thought, are you crazy? Because he's 38 years old, and in California, this is highly competitive. And the kids, I call them kids because they're like 19, 20 years old going for this position. And it's very, very hard to get in. Long story short, I said, of course I'll support you. And over the next 3 years, he trained to become a firefighter paramedic. That meant he wasn't making money. I had just left Tony Robbins. So that meant I better get my act together fast. I used Facebook marketing to build my business and build my email list. My efforts on Facebook marketing literally supported our family so I could pay the mortgage and make sure we were supported in every aspect of our life. I've been able to do that because of the strategies I figured out what really worked on Facebook, and that's where I focused. So it's very dear to my heart what I teach because it kind of changed my life in the respect that I was able to support our family while my husband realized his big dream. I'm happy to say he's been in the fire department for San Diego for almost 1 full year now. And our son, Cade, got to see his dad go for a really big dream. So it was a pretty exciting time for us. So why does this all work? In my business, I live and die by 7 very simple strategies that I've integrated into one timeless Facebook marketing plan. I've literally figured out what works, and I repeat the same plan over and over again. I don't really pay attention to all the bells and whistles on Facebook because that could be overwhelming and stressful. I stick to 7 very specific strategies. But we can't go any further and dive into those 7 steps until we talk about that big fat elephant in the room. And what is that? Well, you might have already been thinking it. Organic reach on Facebook is dramatically down, meaning it's really hard to get that reach. And we all know that Facebook changes all the time. And this is frustrating if you're looking to build your business using Facebook marketing.
Amy, let me ask you, what exactly would you say, just in case someone's unfamiliar, what exactly does organic reach mean?
Oh, okay. So organic reach means that you post on Facebook, on your Facebook page, and your message gets pushed out to all your fans. And it should work that way because these people raised their hand and said, yeah, I want to be your fan. Tell me what you've got. Keep in communication with me on Facebook. So when you post on Facebook, the organic reach is what gets pushed out to your fans. What's happening right now is that maybe 16% of your entire fan base is actually seeing your post in their newsfeed. And because the newsfeed is where it's at, that's where most people are going to see, and you've got to get in there. Nowadays, it's really hard to get pushed out into the newsfeed. If you don't have massive engagement already on your Facebook page, meaning people are clicking like, they're sharing, they're commenting, all that good stuff, if that's not happening to the 90% of your post, you're likely not getting out into the news feed. And that's when people get frustrated with Facebook.
And I'm seeing exactly that.
Okay.
When I post now, a lot less organic comments and likes and shares because, as you said, organic reach is going down.
Yes. And so I'm so glad you brought that up because if you're seeing it, you know that it almost makes Facebook feel like it's not working. And why would you want to put all this effort into it if it's not working for you? And so what I have seen is 99% of the business owners that I literally communicate with every single day are sick of Facebook. And many of them are saying, I'm walking away. They're turning their back to Facebook because Facebook has actually confirmed that you have to pay to play. And when people hear that, all of a sudden they hear Facebook's no longer free. I'm out of here. This is a bait and switch. I don't want anything to do with it. So there's a lot of conversation out there about that. Here's why I'm here today. Because if you think that way, my fear for you is this is a huge missed opportunity. I don't want you turning your back to Facebook because you feel that it's a pay-to-play platform and you don't want anything to do with it anymore. What you need to know is that 700 million people log into Facebook every single day, usually multiple times a day. Your audience is there, and we need to figure out a way that will get you in front of them without breaking the bank and on autopilot. That is when it starts to work. So this is what I call your golden opportunity. Now, when I tell you this and I tell you what's going on, you might think I'm crazy, but listen here. When you understand how these 7 simple strategies I'm going to teach you transform the way you do business on Facebook, you will gladly give Mr. Mark Zuckerberg $100 every single day. Well, he gives you 5 to 10 times back your money. That is when you get excited. This might sound crazy right now, but stay with me here. So is this a mindset shift? Do you need to look at Facebook differently? Yes. Will most people pass it up? For sure. The real question is, will you? And now that you're here with me, have an open mind. For the next, whatever minutes that we go through this training, stay with me here, have an open mind and start to think, could this maybe work for my business? When I break it down for you, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised how quickly you can integrate it in what you're already doing with your online marketing strategies. Whether you're starting from 5 fans on Facebook to thousands of fans on Facebook, that part doesn't even matter. Now, where do we start? We do want to start with your fans and non-fans on Facebook, and we want to turn them into leads. So if you don't have a lot of fans, don't worry, I'll show you how to get them. And if you do have some fans right now, we need to figure out how to turn them into leads. The thing is, fans are great. What's way more powerful and what will make you actual consistent revenue is to turn those fans into leads so we can move them down our funnel to become customers. And this strategy I'm going to show you today is basically a funnel. So I've got to show you some proof so you get excited about this, right? So James Wedmore, both Chris and I know James well, he used these 7 steps just recently. I'm talking last month. And he did a 28-day campaign on a product he was selling. So at the beginning, he had about 15,000 fans. At the end, he had over 18,000. So this strategy, although it's not focused around getting more fans because that's not as valuable as leads, it will always get you more fans. Also, list size. That is what we're thinking about now, list building. So he started with 66,000 fans, and these numbers are relative. What I really want you to look at is the percentage of increase. So then at the end of this campaign, he had more than 13,000 new leads on his email list. That is what's so very powerful. And at the end, he sold 588 units. So he generated over $256,000. This is the biggest campaign James has ever done. And I think why it worked so well for him is that he finally got serious about these 7 steps. He got very specific as to how he was going to promote on Facebook. You just need a plan. So let's go back to this briefly, and then we're going to dive into these 7 steps. I mentioned this earlier. And when you see this, you might think, okay, so here's the deal, Amy. You've been doing Facebook for a while, so of course you're going to get these kind of results. I've never even done any Facebook marketing, or I've tried, but I haven't had any big success. This might seem a little unrealistic to you. And believe me, I can totally relate. When people would throw big numbers in front of me when I was just starting out, I think, yeah, great for you. That's not what's going to happen to me. So let's back up a bit. A few weeks ago, I sent out an email to my email list, and I said, look, I want to know, I want to hear from you. If you started generating an extra $5,000 a month from Facebook, what would the additional revenue do for you? So $5,000 extra a month consistently. So I wanted to know, would you go on vacation, get a VA, maybe finally finish that product or program you've been working on so you could launch it? Now, I knew I'd get some responses, right? People just had to click the link and post on my Facebook page. If you're ever looking to get more engagement on Facebook, ask a question in your email, send them to your Facebook page to respond. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of responses, and I read every single one of them. And the thing is, it was amazing what I found out. You know, it was really cool because most people would give the money to other people. They'd help their parents retire. They'd send their kids through college debt-free, or they would invest that money back in their business. A lot of people said, yes, I would take that much needed vacation. It was really cool to learn what all of you would say about this, but what I realized is a lot of people didn't realize, really though, how could you do that? That seems like a really big number. Because let's be honest, $5,000 extra a month via your Facebook efforts, I don't mean to sound dramatic, but that could be life-changing. $5,000 extra a month consistently, that could change your business, your personal life, your just overall finances. It is a game changer. So let me break it down for you a little bit easier. Once you get this system going that I'm going to show you, you can actually invest $50 a month or $50 a day and get out a little over $200 a day. I'll break it down for you so you understand. But once you get going, $50 a day in, a little over $200 a day out, at the end of 30 days, you walk away with a profit of $5,000. When you break it up this way, it looks a little bit more manageable, right? I mean, 50 in, 200 out every day for 30 days, $5,000 profit. Now, the 7 steps I'm going to show you will show you how to do this. I'm not saying you have to start with $50 a day. I'm just saying once you get to this point, once you feel comfortable with this exchange, everything starts to fall into place. So here's how I did it. These are just 5 of the 7 steps, but I wanted to make it easy before I actually jump into everything. I just wanted to show you one big snapshot. What I do and what you can do as well is I create a giveaway. I create a Facebook ad and I send people to a lead capture page to collect their names and emails. I target only my perfect audience inside of Facebook, and I might blow you away with how easy it is to target your perfect audience. And then from there, once I get the lead, I use a very specific email marketing system or series in order to send a series of emails out to turn that lead into a customer. So this is what it looks like, but let's get really specific here. Here are the 7 steps to a timeless Facebook marketing plan. I also like to call this the #1 strategy that drives my high 6-figure business. So here are the steps. Step 1, create your lead magnet. I also call this your irresistible free giveaway. We're going to set up a lead capture page, just a page to collect names and emails. I'm going to show you the tool I'd use to make this really easy. Step 3, we are going to turn a gotta have it Facebook post all about your free giveaway into a Facebook ad. It literally will take 30 seconds to turn a post into an ad. Stay with me and I'll show you how easy it can be. Then we're going to target only your perfect customer audience inside of Facebook. And we are not going to pay for leads that are not quality. We're going to get really clear so there is no breaking the bank. From there, we're going to know at any minute of the day when our lead magnet is working and when it's not. I'm going to show you how to know so you do not waste any time or money on this strategy. And 7, this is the step that most people that teach Facebook marketing never even mention, and it's a huge piece of the puzzle. So if you're multitasking right now, come back to me because this is the part you do not want to miss. And that is, once you get the lead inside of Facebook, we want to use email marketing, just a series of 5 emails to actually turn that new lead into a customer. Now, because we don't have all day to teach this, I'd love to get into every single one specifically. We're going to dive deep into 1, the lead magnet, 2, that Facebook ad I mentioned, and 3, those emails that actually lead a lead to become a customer. I can't help myself. I'm going to have to touch on each of these, but we'll dive deep into 1, 3, and 7. So hopefully you're feeling excited about this. I want you really to walk away from this training thinking, oh, I could do this. This is something that I could apply to my business, no matter if you've been at it for a while or you're just starting out with your business. This is a great thing to use if you're just starting out because it kind of ramps up everything. If you've been at it for a while and you're not seeing consistent lead generation, this is perfect for you as well. Step 1, we are going to create your lead magnet. So what is a lead magnet? I always call it your irresistible giveaway. It's that one thing you're going to give away in exchange for name and email. So the ladies at Simple Green Smoothies, they do a 30-day green smoothie challenge. They'll give you the 30-day challenge. All you need to do in exchange is give your name and email. Another great giveaway, because this is one area that most people get stuck on, like what would be a good giveaway for what I do? You might want to create a quiz. So Heather, she does the eating personality quiz where you give her some information, including your name and email. She'll send you a report all about you. Who doesn't want to hear more about ourselves, right? So a quiz is a great idea. I love what Ramit does here. Maybe you already have a program, product, or service that you want to sell. You can take a little piece out of that and use that as your lead magnet. So he says here, get free access to 6 dream job secrets for my upcoming Find Your Dream Job program. So this is a great way to actually use something you already sell as your giveaway. Now, our James Wedmore, who I mentioned earlier, he does a 5-part video series for free. 5's a lot. Maybe just do 2. You can keep it really simple. Or if we're talking simple, create a cheat sheet, a checklist, some kind of PDF giveaway that's really easy for you to create, but will knock the socks off your ideal audience. So
Amy,
you want
if I
to
could
think,
just jump in as well on that. I'll tell you one thing we found that's converting very well is creating infographics. And even if I can't create an infographic myself, but there are services like Elance or Guru, even Fiverr.com, Well, you can literally pay $5 or $10, tell them what you want on your infographic. And an infographic is really like an extended image. And
Yeah.
then you have your lead magnet created for you, and boom, it's already created. Then you can continue with these 7 steps.
I love that. That's a really easy but valuable giveaway, an infographic that they actually opt in, you're saying, Chris, to get their hands on it.
Absolutely, and they look so great, infographics. We do live in a world, rightly or wrongly, where a book is judged by its cover. So an infographic aesthetically looks great, so it's got this great perceived value. And if you give your infographic creator the information you want very quickly, you can have a wonderful lead magnet that you have not had to create yourself, that is the front end of your funnel, and it's checking all the boxes for point number 1 that you're going through right now.
Yes. Okay. And the reason I love that even more is that infographics look so well. And on Facebook, a great image goes a long way. So if you take a little snapshot of just the top of that infographic to tease them with it as your way of promoting it, great way to grab their attention. If they like that, they're going to love the entire infographic if they can get their hands on it. So really great point. So just think of, what is it that your audience would love to get from you? You want that to be your free giveaway. Now, let me give you 3 tips to help you create, let's say, that infographic or whatever it is you want to create. 1, you want to solve a problem. And even more so, you want to solve a problem that you know your audience has and make it actionable in terms of how you solve it. Have them do something and get results. When that happens, they are a fan for life that comes back and they want more. And that's what you want. Also, when you're creating this lead magnet, make it so good that your fans will pay for it. Don't be afraid to fill that infographic or whatever you do with your best information. That is what's going to hook them. So don't hold back in this giveaway. And 3, this is something that most people forget. When you create your free giveaway, no matter what it is, create something that is aligned with your offer that you might eventually sell. It's okay if you don't have something to sell just yet. These 7 steps will still work for you. So stay with me as I explain that. But eventually you're going to want to sell something. So whatever you create as a giveaway, make sure it's aligned with what you'll eventually sell, meaning the lesson you teach or the value you give will prove to your audience, this is important stuff. You need to stick with me, that kind of thing. Okay, so I want you to literally type, I keep saying literally because I hear Chris saying literally in my head, so forgive me for saying that a million times. I keep hearing it, Chris. You've screwed me up. So here's the deal. I want you to type in the dashboard right this second, because sometimes it gets really lonely on this side of the mic. I want to know you're here. So do you currently have a lead magnet that is working for you? Do you currently have one? Just type it in there. Chris, tell me what you see, because as you know, I can't see the dashboard. So tell me, I'm going to guess, Chris, that you're going to see some yeses and a lot of no's.
Okay, so the question is, do you currently have a lead magnet? And I would say we're probably at 90% no's.
Okay, good, which means your audience is perfect for this training. So I love that. It's okay if you don't have one. Some of you are saying, yeah, I've got one, which is perfect. But if you don't have one, you're starting exactly where you want to be. We're going to create one that really will grab the attention of your ideal audience. So to get started, since we can't dive into it specifically right now, here's something you can do on your Facebook page, on Twitter, Pinterest, wherever you want to do this. Create a post and ask people, out of 3 options, what would they choose? Now, I bet you know in your gut 3 different ideas you might want to create as a giveaway. On Facebook, if you want more engagement, here's the way you get it. You ask a question, but you make it extremely easy to answer. Meaning, when people ask questions on Facebook, they tend to make them too elaborate, and people are not going to answer a question that they have to type a lot. So as you can see, I said choose 1, 2, or 3. I don't want their description or reason why. Just tell me 1, 2, or 3. This is what's going to get you that engagement. So just list 3 ideas you have. Tell people that if they're, give your feedback, and you just might create it for them, that kind of thing. This will start you on your journey to start figuring out, what does my audience really want? There's a million other things you can do to figure this out, but if you're just starting, let's start here. Okay, so we're now starting to think about, what could we give away? When you give something away, you've got to, of course, collect those names and emails in exchange for that, because that's why you're working so hard on this giveaway, so you can attract people that want to give you their info. So the second step is you want to set up a lead capture page, which basically just means a page to collect names and emails. So I do that for my webinars. So when I do webinars, I'll put up a page that looks like this. I'm going to show you the tool I use because it takes 5 minutes, and people click the yellow button, give me their name and email, we're good to go. The other option is to create one where you become the focal point. If you are your own personal brand, this is a fun way to do it as well. This is our friend David Siteman Garland, and he does a cheat sheet. So it doesn't have to be a webinar like I do. There's a lot of different options here. So maybe your cheat sheet is your giveaway. This is an example of a lead capture page. Notice if you have been featured somewhere, maybe not yet, but when you are, actually showing it at the bottom is really great social proof. Or adding a quote where someone said something great about you, that's another example of social proof on a lead capture page. It really helps the conversions. The ladies at Green Simple Smoothies. The reason I created this one is because, or showed this one, is because 30-day challenges are great to create that buzz on Facebook as well. So if this is something that might work for you, they just have a short little video where they explain it, and then of course a place to leave their name and email. Now if you want to do this in 5 minutes, this is a tool I use called Lead Pages. So Lead Pages allows you, see how it's kind of grayed out to the left, allows you to basically click a button, and what you'll do is you'll basically get to add in information so that it actually, I'm getting stuck on a word that I keep thinking of, I don't know, populates, I guess. So you type in your information, it populates in there, and it's drag and drop. That's what I was thinking. So it's more like a drag and drop kind of system, but literally has probably 60 plus different templates. So I use this every single day to create my lead capture pages. It makes it really, really easy. So if you're looking for a tool, check out Lead Pages. Okay, so now we're thinking about a great giveaway. We're going to create a lead capture page to get those names and emails. Step 3, and this is the one I want you to pay close attention to. This is the time that we're going to actually create what I call the gotta have it Facebook post, a Facebook post talking about your giveaway, and we're going to turn it into a Facebook ad. So this is the one I use to generate that 35,000 plus every single month. This is the one I'm using. So as you can see, it's got some information on the top, and it has the image, and then it has a little information at the bottom. Now the great thing about this is, see that like page button at the top? When this gets in front of people that actually have not become your fans yet, because this goes into the news feed, notice it looks like a Facebook post. That's why it converts so well. But when people in the news feed see this that haven't yet become your fan, they can actually click like and become a fan, and still click anywhere in this actual ad and go to your lead capture page. Now you're getting quality fans and quality leads. So the only ad you need to know, and I really strongly believe that, is called the unpublished post, also called the dark post. So you'll find the unpublished post in your Power Editor. Now the Power Editor is basically just a more robust Facebook ad dashboard. Totally free, created by Facebook. It's a little bit more clunky in the beginning, but stick with it because it's like riding a bike. Once you get it, you're off to the races. The reason it's so valuable is because you can create these unpublished posts. So if you want to find out how to locate the Power Editor, amyporterfield.com/PE will take you to a page where it will show you how to find it. You want to be inside Chrome when you do it. Okay, so I mentioned that in this ad, people can click like and become a fan, and they can click anywhere to become a lead. So let's break it down. Once you go inside the Power Editor, when you're setting up your ad, you'll see something that says create an unpublished post. You'll see this once you get into the phase after you created your budget and your targeting, which we'll get there. You'll see the option to create your actual ad. And this pop-up will appear. Now, I want you to take a deep breath, because if you've never done this before, you might be thinking, whoa, 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 wait, this is a lot of info. I'm just giving you the information you really need to know to make this work. So trust me here that if you understand these steps first, when you start to do it, it all will start to come together. Sure, it might take a little while to navigate. Once you've got it, though, you've got it. So this is what you really want to know. In this unpublished post box here, see where I've highlighted in yellow what I wrote on the top? So here I'm just inviting people to my webinar. This is where you might invite people to check out your infographic, or your video, but you're going to tell them what's in it for them. So get very specific here. Remember, we're making this look like a Facebook post. Next, you actually can create a headline. So this is clickable. So you could say, click here to check out, whatever it might be. But as you can see here, I said free training and then the title. Underneath, you get to write this as well. Have you ever posted something on Facebook and let's say an image got pulled in from a web page? Underneath that image, information gets pulled in as well. Now, nothing gets pulled in. We're going to actually manipulate all of it inside of the Facebook Power Editor. So you write your description. Sometimes I like to write something like, if you are a coach, consultant, or author looking to get your message out, this is the training for you, like telling them exactly who this is for. That's another thing you can do with the description. Now, I want you to write this down. So this is important. Write these specs down for your image. 1200 by 627, because this is the stuff most people don't tell you. So 1200 by 627 pixels, and you want a PNG file. When you upload a JPEG, sometimes it's a little grainy, and you don't want that. So a PNG file, 1200 by 627 pixels, this will allow you to have a great image. Now you might be thinking, well, how do I create that image? I'll show you. I've got 2 free tools that I use to create my ad images. Now before we get there, I want to give you some copy tips for that gotta have it post that we turn into an ad. So first, and I think I mentioned this, make it all about them, not about you. Tell them what they're going to get, but give them specifics and make it actionable, meaning that you want them to actually really get excited about what you're talking about. Now, if you worked really hard on that lead magnet I told you about in step 1, then you've earned the right to make sure that you make it sound incredibly irresistible. They cannot wait to get their hands on this free giveaway. That's your job. Now, also, write it as though you're talking to a good friend. Chris is great at this, making it casual, friendly, funny, whatever you want to do that actually depicts your personality and your brand. Make sure that's seen in this ad, because if you sound like you're talking to a stranger, you are not going to get the conversion you're looking for. On Facebook, the nuances are friendly, light, conversational. Go with that in order to get a lot of clicks for your ad. So I promised you 2 tools. So this first tool, totally free, is called PicMonkey.com. And I use this tool to create that image I showed you. If you go to PicMonkey, not now, but when you go there later, you'll see a little icon called Design. If you click on that, you'll get this drop down where you'll see Custom. You can actually input your dimensions, 1200 by 627, to create the perfect ad right there in PicMonkey. You can pull in images and text and all that good stuff. Really easy tool to use. But just recently, I came across another tool that I'm a little bit obsessed with lately. It's called Canva, canva.com. And in 23 seconds, I'm going to show you how it works. So stick with me, watch your screen a little bit. Okay, we're timing it. So what you'll do is you'll go into Canva and literally type in a word, any word that you want to find some graphics for. Of course, we're choosing lion because that makes perfect sense, right? So we choose an image, and then you get to click on 100 different fonts, and you just type in whatever it is that you want to say. Once you do that, you click a button, and it will instantly become a JPEG or a PNG, whatever you want. It really does work that fast. So you do not need to pay to have your ad images created. You can do it in one of these 2 free tools. Works really, really well.
That's a great show. I'd never heard of Canva. So thank you.
It's fairly new, so it's definitely worth checking out and completely free. Okay, so this is when I like to hear if people are paying attention. So tell me this, and Chris, you got to pay attention and tell me if it's working here. I want you to type in the words, I'll do it. You got to include the exclamation mark so I know you're excited. Type in, I'll do it in the dashboard. If you're thinking, okay, I'm kind of excited here. I think so far what you've taught me, Amy, I can do this. So let me hear, Chris, is anybody typing in I'll do it?
We are getting hundreds of I'll do it's, and Pat and Sylvia and David, you were first off the mark. So well done, Pat, well done, Sylvia, well done, David, and Alison, FB, and Paul and Colin. I saw you at the top as well. So hello, Terence and Fred and Robert and Donna. So yes, we're getting tons of I'll do it, Amy.
Okay, good. So I've got your commitment. Okay, so if you're already excited, thinking I'll do it, I'm with you here, Amy. I'm walking through these steps. Let's jump into the next steps so you see kind of how it starts to come together. So now that we have We're starting to think about what our lead capture magnet or our lead magnet's going to be. Then we're going to use a simple tool to create our lead capture page. And then the part that might take you a little bit longer but worth every bit of the effort is to turn that post into an ad with an unpublished Facebook ad post. From there, we're getting into targeting. And I'm ready to knock your socks off because this is where Facebook has just gotten really good. The people that are turning their back to Facebook right now and saying, no way, I'm not going to pay to play, they're missing out on this huge opportunity. And we say let them turn their back. Means less competition for us when we're actually working our campaign inside of Facebook. So there are major possibilities when it comes to who are we going to show that ad to so we don't waste any money on our ads. Now, if you have an email list, and some people on the call have an email list, a majority probably have a really small one, if anything, that's okay. The whole goal here is to create your email list, but let's say you have one already. All you need to do is take that email list and actually upload it as a CSV file onto Facebook. And when you upload it, you're saying, Facebook, check my email list against your database. And whenever you see a match, put that into what is called a custom audience. So Facebook goes through your entire list, makes all the matches that they can with their own database, and now you have a list that you can actually market to. It's called a custom audience. It's your email list turned into a target audience on Facebook. Now you might be thinking, well, Amy, if the goal here is to grow my email list, why would I want to show my lead magnet to people already on my list? Well, the great thing is these 7 steps are your sales funnel. They're actually moving people from Facebook to your email list to eventually buy from you. And the people on your list right now, if you've never created a funnel, likely are not very active with you right now. So get them into your funnel. Get them into wanting your free giveaway so you can send them down the funnel and communicate with them in a way that they'll want to buy. But a lot of you are saying, okay, this is great, but I don't have an email list. Not a problem. Another way you can use Facebook targeting is by creating what's called lookalike audience. Now, a lookalike audience is basically taking one audience and making a similar audience out of the Facebook database. Facebook does this all for you for free, so it's really easy. So here's how I use it. I take the fans of my Facebook page and say, Facebook, make me a lookalike audience. And what Facebook does, because they know everything about us, they go out and they find people that are very similar in the likes, the interests, the behaviors, the demographics of my current Facebook fan base. And they create a lookalike audience of hundreds of thousands of people that I can target with my lead magnet. So lookalike audiences changes everything in terms of how Facebook can target for you because you don't have to have a big email list to make this work. The reason why this is so powerful is because now Facebook is only going to show your ad to people that are very similar to those that have already said they're interested in what you're all about, maybe even already purchased from you. You can upload a buyer's list into Facebook and say, create a lookalike audience of this buyer's list I already have. You can do this with your web traffic. So there's so much you can do with lookalike audiences. Again, really easy to create and totally free. Let me show you what one of mine looks like. So inside the Facebook ads dashboard, I asked Facebook, okay, show me 3 lookalike audiences. 1, just the US, 2, just California, 3, Australia. And I wanted to know people that are very similar to my current Facebook fan base. Look at the numbers that came back. You know, almost 2 million people. I don't have 2 million fans. Facebook gives you larger lists to work with so that you have a larger reach. Organic reach is down on Facebook. This is how we get around it. We create a really, really solid strategy to get our information in front of the people on Facebook that really actually care about what we're offering.
So Amy, are you saying that if we use a lookalike audience, once we create our ad, our image, our post, we can specifically make sure that that ad, that image, that post only appears for the lookalike audience that we've created?
Yes. So in the past, a lot of people that have been burned by Facebook ads, their targeting was way off. So
Absolutely.
They were targeting people that had no interest whatsoever. And then there's this big rumor that you're going to get a bunch of fake likes and all that good stuff. That does not happen when you use a lookalike audience because we're getting laser focused here. So you're exactly right, Chris. Good stuff, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, and I appreciate in a webinar, you know, it's very challenging for you to convey this information without getting too deep because it's so powerful. For example, that the targeting on Facebook, let's use, I don't know, a business of a wedding photography, let's say. Imagine you're a wedding photographer. On Facebook, you can get so specific with your targeting that you can make your ad only show up to people that have actually said, hey, we're getting married in 6 months' time. So that would be you
Yes.
know, if you're getting married in 6 months and an ad appears in your newsfeed saying, getting married soon, click here. Do you think some will click? Yes. Will everybody? No, not everybody, but some will. That's why this is so powerful, because we've never had this tool that allows us to get so specific, as Amy said, with our targeting. So sorry to interrupt, Amy,
Exactly.
but I just get so passionate about this because it's just mind-blowing what is, you know, possible using this.
It's so true, and I love that you get passionate about it because I do believe that although this is just one step of the seven, this is where you get your biggest bang for your buck. Target smarter, and you will start singing the praises of Facebook while everyone else is saying it doesn't work. You just kind of can
Absolutely.
laugh inside
Even
and say,
Napoleon
"Yeah,
Hill, you know, 100 years ago in Think and Click Rich, Think and Grow Rich said, you know, specific is better than general. You know, if we can get specific at any time in any aspect of life, that's always a good move. And we can get specific with our advertising on Facebook.
I love that." And I think you should start a book called Think and Click Rich.
I know,
That is
as I
actually
said that, but there
brilliant.
you go.
That is good. Don't go get the URL right now before anyone
Okay,
steals it.
okay, I will.
Okay, step number 5 is only pay for leads that have a genuine interest in your offer. Now, this one I need to kind of break down for you a little bit because step number 5 is all about answering the question, how much should I spend on Facebook ads? It's probably the number one question I get when I ever teach Facebook advertising. How much should I spend on ads? The thing is, it's very different for each person depending on how much money you have in your budget for this, what you're selling, what you're doing on Facebook. However, I thought that's not a good enough answer for you. I want to give you some specifics. So here's what you need to know when you start going down the road of this strategy. If you want to move a fan to become a lead, not just get a click on an ad from a fan, but I'm talking about how much would it cost for you to turn a fan into a lead? Right
Amy,
now,
can I interrupt you for 2 seconds? And just
yeah,
so I want to make sure that everyone's 100% clear. When we say lead, what we are meaning is somebody actually has now gone onto our email list so we can actually email them, as opposed to a fan, which is somebody on Facebook that clicks on something that says that they like something. That's correct, isn't it?
I'm so glad you said that. Yes, so that's what a lead is, someone on your email list.
So we can really then, as Amy said earlier, once they're on our email list, and this is what I use Facebook for all the time. I really use Facebook for visibility, to turn fans into leads. So I'll send them to, just as Amy's doing, literally I do this to the letter. I will send fans and non-fans to lead capture pages where they will enter an email address and therefore become a lead. And that's kind of where the magic begins. So I just wanted to make sure, if anyone was unclear of the difference between a fan and a lead is something that's on your email list. And that's what the whole aim is with what Amy is going through.
I'm so glad you said that. Yes, so that's exactly what a lead is. And I'll say, let me just back up real quickly. When I first started doing email marketing, or excuse me, online marketing, when I left Tony Robbins, I created a program. I actually created a program that people could buy. And when I went to promote it, it was a failure. It was actually didn't really do much of anything. And it was a really good product that I spent months and months creating. The reason it was a big failure is because I had no one to market to. Sure, I could post on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube,
Sure.
but when you don't have your own list that's really paying attention and that you've nurtured and built relationships with, it's really hard to sell. Would you agree, Chris?
Oh, absolutely. That, you know, if there's just one thing you take away from this webinar, let the thing be build your list. Once you know what your business
Yes.
is about, or even if you haven't created a business, you have an idea. If you literally come away with just thinking, okay, if you focus just the next 2 months on doing nothing else, literally nothing else than building your list, you will be in a very strong situation. The added kind of sort of excitement is that Facebook ads allow you to build your list super fast. And that's really what we're going through here. But absolutely, Amy,
Yes.
100% agree.
So glad you agree. And I always say, so after I was really just extremely disappointed by my first big promotion I did because I didn't have a list, at that point was right around the time that my husband started to become a firefighter, so I needed to make money. And I had a mentor that told me that the energy of your business is directly tied to your email list. These days, without an email list, it's almost like you don't have a viable business. Or what happens is you have to hustle your pants off just to find your next customer. So if you're looking to breathe new energy or to breathe energy just initially into your new business, the email list, if I could tell you anything on this webinar, the email list is where it's at. And I'll tell you, Pat Flynn is a great friend of mine, and he tells this great story that he didn't sell anything to his list for a full year. He just built relationships and gave them great value and became someone of that go-to source for them. When he did sell, they couldn't wait to get their hands on whatever he was selling. So it's okay if you're not ready to sell something, still work on that email list. So in terms of how this works on Facebook, if you use Facebook ads, you need to know that turning a fan into somebody on your email list will cost anywhere between 80 cents and $5. Now you might say that's a really big range there. It is, because the better you get, the less it is. So that means that in the beginning, yeah, it might cost $5 to get someone on your list. But the way I want you to look at it is that when you eventually do sell, let's say you sell a $100 program to them. So the lead costs $5, but they spent $100 with you. Those are the kind of exchanges that you want to be prepared for down the road. So you might have to put a little money up front, but that's where it starts to pay off. Now, what's interesting, if you want to turn a non-fan into somebody on your email list, it's going to be a little bit more. The reason for this is that Facebook actually will make you pay more to get a non-fan to become a lead of yours versus a fan. So if you ever needed a reason to grow your fan base, it's not just enough to say, I want a lot of fans on Facebook because it looks good. Think in terms of growing my fan base means when I do run the 7 steps, I'm going to pay a lot less to get people on my email list because you can market to your own fan base. That's when things start to look different.
Would you say that you would work just as hard, therefore, on building fans on Facebook as well as building your email list, or just building that email list?
You know, I don't work just as hard, but it's my second focus. So my first focus is definitely just to build the email list, because even if it, there's only so much you can do to tap into the fan base. So my number one focus is fans and non-fans to my email list. My second focus is building a really solid fan base on Facebook, because I can continue to pull from that and save money. So 100% yes. Okay. Really important. It just kind of changes why you would want to grow your fan base, which makes it even more profitable when you look at it that way.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so we are moving on to step number 6. We're almost to the very end here. And step number 6 is always know in real time if your lead magnet is working. Now, a lot of the times when people deal with Facebook ads, they have no idea if it's actually working, and that's usually why they stop. They're thinking, I'm not seeing tons of action, and I have no idea if this is even working. Well, Facebook created something called a conversion tracking tool. Now, here's what you need to know. I am not a techie girl by any means, meaning when I see a little piece of code, it looks like Chinese to me, and I do not know Chinese. So I don't deal with code and programming and all that crazy stuff. So if I can make this little thing work here, I promise you, you can too. So this is how it works, just so you understand how powerful it can be. Inside of Facebook, you can say, okay, I want to create a little pixel. Pixel meaning just code. You type in the name of your campaign. We'll call this the lead magnet funnel. And you say, I want to track my leads. So you click on the blue button, and Facebook gives you a little bit of code. You take that code, and you're going to put it on the thank you page that follows your giveaway sign up. So let's say you sign up for one of my webinars. I might then redirect you to this thank you page that says, hey, thanks for signing up. Make sure to mark your calendar. I'll see you there. And on this page where you can't see it, a little piece of code is hidden so that when someone hits this page, Facebook knows, ding, 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 someone just became a lead. So now inside Facebook ads dashboard, it will say, here's how many people clicked on your ad. Here's how many people clicked on your ad and hit your thank you page, which means they became a lead. You can then look at those conversions. You want at least 10% when you're starting out, 10% conversion on your ads that you want to turn people into leads. Once you get really good, you're going to start to see 40, 50% conversions. But when we're just starting out, let's go for 10 and you're doing really well. Now, another cool thing, talking about growing your fan base, This is a lead page. Remember I told you lead pages is the tool I use? Well, they also have thank you pages you can use. This took me 2 minutes to set up, and I just put some video embed code in there. But notice what I circled for you here. When you get a brand new lead, always then on the thank you page, ask them to become a fan of your Facebook page as well. Because not only are they quality fans, they've just signed up for something of yours, but if they're going to get emails from you and see you inside of Facebook, now you're staying top of mind with them no matter what they're doing online. So that's why whenever you have a little thank you page like this, always include a way for them to become a fan. This is just built into a thank you page on lead pages, so it made it really easy. Just a little tip for you. But the conversion tracking tool is going to tell you yes or no if your ad is working. If it's not, we're going to tweak it a little just to make sure it does. Okay, so we are in our home stretch, and this is step number 7, the step that most people that teach you Facebook marketing will never ever teach you. And that's why I get so excited to teach it. Now, I know we're pressed for time, so there's 5 must emails. I'll briefly mention 2, but I'm going to get in depth into 3 just so you really understand. Now, here's what it looks like. This is how I teach Facebook, and by now you probably have understood it a little bit better. When we're talking turning a fan into a lead, someone on your email list, we do that inside of Facebook. That's my number 1 focus. But when I want to turn that brand new email subscriber into a customer, that's what I do through email marketing. Email marketing turns that lead into a prospect, meaning someone who's genuinely interested in what you have to offer, and turns that prospect into a customer, someone that has taken out their wallet and spent money with you. I do that through email marketing. The reason I don't sell directly on Facebook is it's so much less powerful and successful versus using Facebook to actually give something away for free to get that lead.
I
If
completely
you're gonna,
agree. And
do
who
you?
actually
Okay,
goes?
good.
Who goes to Facebook really? With the buying mindset. You go to Amazon to buy. I don't think many people would go to Facebook with that buying mentality. So I agree with you. I mean,
Exactly.
Facebook really is, as I mentioned earlier, I think it's a visibility tool. It's a great tool to allow us to build our leads and turn them into customers.
Yes. So once you get this mindset, I mean, I said don't walk away from the training without really thinking you've got to grow your email list, but also take one more thing with you. You want to look at Facebook as a place where you grow your email list. You want to look at email marketing as a place where you turn them into customers. So let's look at this briefly. I'm going to give you 3 emails you've got to include in that email series once you get your lead. The first one is, well, let's back up. Pretend like you don't see this on the screen. The first thing you want to do is use email to deliver your giveaway. So maybe it's a link to your infographic, or it's a link to a 3-part video series, whatever it might be. That's your very first email. But after that, in that webinar or in your ebook that you give them or in the 3-part video series, you could mention that there's ways that they can do business with you. You could mention an offer at the end, or just kind of allude a little bit to, hey, if you like this, I got more where this came from. So once the emails start, you can start talking about your offer. You want to give the giveaway away as promised, but now start to tell them how they can do business with you. Now, one of the very first emails I do after I deliver my giveaway is I add more value. So I call it the value add email, where I do talk about my program that I'm selling to them, but I also teach them something else. So I make it even juicier for them. Hey, I've got this free giveaway. Now I've got this paid program, but let me teach you just a little bit more so that you understand how valuable this training is for you. So adding a little something extra in your email is going to get them to trust you and build affinity. So that value add email, really, really important. Now, once you get into really promoting whatever it is that you want to sell, you want to definitely include an email that I call the Got Questions email. So you want to answer every objection they may have about purchasing your program. So in this email, I was selling an ads program, and I answered the 5 questions I get asked all the time. And it's a long email, but it serves a purpose. Let me answer all those questions that you have so that you can make a decision that's right for you. Very important. Once you have the lead, once you start talking about selling something, answer their objections through email. Now, you might want to do a series of value add emails, and you might want to include an email that just breaks down the offer that you're giving them. But at the very end, you must include an email that's In my terms, I call it now's the time email. This is the email that says, okay, time is up. We are human beings and we procrastinate. And if there's not a really good reason to take action right this second, there's a million other things I could be doing, even if I'm interested. So you need to grab their attention and say, this is the last chance. Scarcity will spark action, but you want to make it real scarcity. So tell them the discount's going away, a bonus is going away, the whole product is going away, the cart closes and it's no longer available. Whatever that might be, find a way to create that scarcity so you get your new leads to actually want to take action with you. Once you do that, you're going to start to see the revenue, but they need that little scarcity. So looking over the whole thing, you're going to deliver the giveaway, but then you're going to make sure in that series you include some value. You teach just a little bit more. You make sure you answer all of their questions, and you make sure you include an email that I call now's the time. This is the email that really helps them understand, I don't have any more chances. If I want this, I've got to act now. So I thought, let's first wrap this up. Let's make you really understand the 7 steps. Now that we walked through them, once you see them here, it will all start to make more sense. So the first thing you're going to do, because many of you haven't done this yet, so you're in the perfect place, you're going to create your lead magnet, that irresistible giveaway. Next, you're going to set up your lead capture page, that page that's going to collect the names and emails. Next, you're going to create a gotta have it Facebook post and turn it into an ad. Remember that post that I showed you, it goes in the news feed. It just looks just like a Facebook post, but now you've turned it into an ad. Step number 4, only show your ad to your perfect customer target list. We're going to use those lookalike audiences to make sure that we don't waste a penny on our ads and we get in front of the perfect people. And we're going to understand how much we want to pay for our ads so that you have a budget you're very comfortable with. You know what you want to do in terms of how much you want to spend. Number 6, always know in real time if your lead magnet's working. Remember, it's the conversion tracking tool. That's what you're going to use to make sure you always know you're on the right track. And 7, one of the most important pieces of this puzzle is to create the 5 must emails to perfectly position your offer. I gave you 3 here today just to start you thinking, what could you do? And let me add one more thing here. If you're not ready to sell something, in step number 7, you actually have it easier than those who want to sell something. You actually get to just give value. Value week after week. Create posts, infographics, little videos, whatever you want to do. Every week, give something of value until you're ready to sell. When you are ready to sell, what happens is now you have a list that trusts you. They actually cannot wait to hear from you, and they know that you're going to give them great stuff even when you're selling something. So don't worry if you're not ready to sell just yet. You can move into that as you build your email list and as you're ready to do it.
And also we should mention, don't think that you have to sell your own product or service. You might want to, but of course, if there's something else, an affiliate product, that's a $1 billion plus industry itself. So you might want to use exactly this. And when it comes to the emails, promote ideally the best affiliate products are products and services that you've used yourself. But if product creation is something that you don't want to do, don't feel that you have to.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I use these 7 steps when I promote different tools that I use to create my programs and create my promotions and launches. So I use all 7 steps even when I do an affiliate promotion. So yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. It doesn't need to be your own thing for it to work. So remember, nothing I've shared with you today is theory. I've used every single one of these 7 strategies to build my business. Now, I'm not exactly sure why you showed up here, but as I mentioned earlier on, it might be just because you know you need Facebook, but you're not exactly certain what to do on Facebook. Hopefully, these 7 steps have given you a new opportunity. Or maybe you're just frustrated with Facebook, but you're still holding out hope that it could actually work for you. These 7 steps are that hope to show you what you actually can do to get results. Or maybe you just want to be told what to do and how to do it to see real results on Facebook. You want more fans, more leads, and more sales. If that's the case, That's what these 7 steps will definitely do for you. So one thing I want you to take away from today, I am not extra special, meaning I don't have exclusive resources and tools, and I definitely don't have someone on the inside of Facebook helping me out. Oh, how I wish I did. What I do have is a plan. I have a Facebook marketing plan built with these 7 steps in mind in order to help me make something work every day on Facebook. If I can do it, let me tell you, you can do it too. So the obvious question, how do I make all of this work so I can get things up and running quickly? Because the last thing you want to do is try to figure this out for the next 6 months and see if maybe it will work for you. That is not my intention for you at all. So here's the deal. You do have a choice here. You can do this what I call the complicated and confusing way, and you can go at it on your own. Now, you may have noticed there's a lot that goes into these 7 steps. However, these 7 steps are incredibly powerful. If your goal is to grow your email list and make money on Facebook, you do not want to go at this alone. And here's the reason why. Because there's a component of Facebook advertising to make this really work. When you make mistakes on Facebook ads, they are extremely costly. It will cost you in order to actually make this work if you make mistakes. That's the part about Facebook that's so frustrating. It doesn't come with a guide. If it did, all of this would be so much easier. Now, of course, I always say there is a simple and structured way to do it, and that is to actually get help as you create your 7 steps. I always tell this silly story that when I first got married, I tried to create this 5-course meal for my husband, and I was so excited. I had this really expensive cookbook, expensive pots and pans, and I set out to do this 5-course meal. Jumping to the point of it, it was a disaster. It was disgusting. I have a really nice husband, so he said it was delicious. He was a liar. And the thing is, I had no idea what I was doing, but I really felt like I could go at it on my own. Next time I tried to do it, I called in reinforcements. I called over my mother, and she came and she went through the entire thing with me step by step. Sat down with me, was patient with me, walked me through it. That's when everything starts to come together. You know that feeling when you feel supported, and that's what I want for you. So here's the deal. When you know what goes into the plan, which you do know now, I want to encourage you to actually take action. So sure, all of this information is so good to know, but imagine what it would feel like if you actually put it into action and started to see consistent revenue from your efforts. That would feel pretty good. So at this point, your head is probably spinning, and that's okay. We have covered a lot in this training. The thing is, all of the strategies that I taught you are incredibly important. The good news is, you do not need to do them all at once. There is no need to do every single step all at once, because that's when it gets really confusing. My success has come from breaking it down step by step. So at this point, I want to help you break these entire step-by-step strategies down one by one. I want to invite you to become a member of the Facebook Marketing Profit Lab. The Profit Lab is the program I created to show you what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, step by step with me. So Facebook Marketing Profit Lab is the absolute fastest way to go from point A to point B while eliminating the stress and the overwhelm that many of us feel. So here's what you get inside the Profit Lab. We're going to go through the course 6 weeks together, highly interactive. It's all online to make it really convenient for you, and it includes training modules, and I've built in 2 weeks to actually do it with you so you're not alone. In addition, we've got training videos, cheat sheets, transcripts, PDFs of all of the slide decks. We have you covered. Now let me show you what is inside this course, because this is where you're going to put together your Facebook marketing plan that really works on autopilot for you. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to create together that highly desirable lead magnet. So if you're thinking, Amy, I'm not sure what to create, I don't know what my audience wants, I don't know what tools to do to create it, stick with me. We're going to walk you through it. So at the end of Module 1, you know what your audience wants and how to put it together. Now, if you have no idea, back a few years ago, I read 4 Hour Workweek like everyone else in the world, And I learned what was called the lead magnet split test, where in 48 hours, we can know what your audience desperately needs from you. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. So we'll know within 2 days what exactly it is that you should create as your lead magnet. And then I'm going to give you all the tools and resources to actually get it done. Plus, in Module 1, we are going to build your fan base. So as Chris had mentioned, it's really important to actually build a fan base. The way we're going to do that is there's 3 strategies I use every day, but that's all I use. So no fluff involved. We're going to get you more fans quickly. Now, in Module 2, we're going to create that lead capture page. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes with me and show you everything that needs to go into your lead capture page. How to write the copy, what images to use, what layout to use, because that page has to convert. If we're going to send traffic there, it's got to make people want to give you their name and email. I'll show you how to create it. And then, have you ever gotten to hold someone's hand that knows how to use Facebook ads and actually have someone walk you through step by step of the Facebook ad creation? I'm talking about the copy, the ad image, the power editor. I'm going to show you how to use that power editor to set up your ad step by step. We are getting into targeting, into budgeting. You will not walk away from this program without knowing exactly what to do to get your ad up and running. Now, I always add to the module how to engage with your fans, because at this phase, now that we're going to actually be getting more fans and more leads, we want to make sure we're getting more clicks, more shares, more likes, more comments. Remember I mentioned organic reach is down? Well, there's actually 3 things you can do to get that organic reach, that free reach up. I'm going to show you how to do it in this module. Now, Module 3 is the module that pretty much is missing out of almost all Facebook ad or Facebook marketing trainings, and that is the email series. We are going to actually put together an email autoresponder series that has 5 emails in it to get your leads to become customers. I'm going to give you my exact email autoresponder series that I use, and you can model it for your own. You'll see what goes into every single email, the images, the text, the layout, all of that matters. I'm going to give you mine as swipe file so you can create yours. I'll make it really easy for you. And again, in this module, we're going to make sure you understand how to make sure it's all working so you don't waste a penny to make this actually work for you. Now, Module 4, this module is a little bit different. Here, we're actually going to troubleshoot because a lot of people get a program and they get stuck and they don't actually follow through. We're getting to all the troubleshooting. I want you to have a 7-step Facebook marketing plan actually working by the end of our time together. That is my commitment, and I'm going to help you make sure you move forward. Also, notice that now you're going to have a lead magnet to collect leads. You're going to have a lead capture page. You can use that on your website, on Pinterest, on YouTube, on Twitter. I'm going to help you integrate some of what you learn here into other social media sites. So this goes beyond Facebook so that you can get a bigger bang for your buck. Now, what's also great about the program is there's live Q&A calls, meaning that you can actually send in your questions in advance, and every week for 6 weeks, I'll get live on a call to make sure that all your questions get answered. So that means as you're going through the program, you're going to get a super secret email address that you can send in emails to me saying, look, I'm stuck here, I need help here, can you show me an example of this? Whatever it might be, and I'll actually get on live once a week, and I call it a call, it's actually a webinar, where you can see my screen and I show you tons of examples and how to step by step to make sure you get beyond your questions. Now, I only offer this kind of one-on-one Q&A with a small group inside the Profit Lab. So very important, if you want your questions answered, this is where it's going to happen. Now, I love what Laura said. This is not the first time I've done the Profit Lab. I'm into year 3, and it has gotten better and better every single year. So Laura says, Amy's Facebook Marketing Profit Lab gets you results. The lessons are clear, easy to put into action, and you can see the results immediately. I started out with 18 fans, and by the end of the course, I had over 1,800 fans and grew my email list by 500%. That is a really big jump. Now, inside the Profit Lab, you actually get a Facebook marketing plan. I know this isn't super sexy, but it's a Word document and a PDF. So we got to make it look exactly like this to work for you. I have done all the heavy lifting, meaning I've already created your Facebook marketing plan. All you need to do is put in the information that's unique to your business. Now, at the end of the 6 weeks, you have a Facebook marketing plan that you can give to a VA or a project manager or whoever that might be. So really important to know that you actually walk away with a Facebook marketing plan digitally that you can pass off if you choose.
Amy,
So if
did
you're
I see
ready,
that in that green window? That was the emails that you're suggesting when to write and the subject line and when to send them.
yes, because that's the question I usually get. Amy, not only what do I put
That's
in these emails,
terrific.
but how often
Yeah.
do I send them and what subject line? So we go through all of that to give you everything you need to know to create your email autoresponder series.
Wow.
Good stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're ready to become a Profit Lab member, here's what you need to know. Every single week, you'll get weekly modules with training videos, all focused on building your Facebook marketing plan. You will get my PDF ready-made Facebook marketing template that you get to fill in your unique information, but I've done all the heavy lifting for you. 6 weeks of live Q&A sessions with me where you can send your questions in advance. Also, quality recordings. You will never miss a thing. So recordings, transcripts, and my slide presentations so you can go over the material as many times as you would like. And also, there's a members area open 24/7 for an entire year. Plus, everything in my members area is completely downloadable, meaning download it to your own computer and you can keep it forever. So I'm sure you're thinking, all right, Amy, go ahead, tell us the cost. Here's the thing. As I mentioned earlier, you could try to go at this on your own. Not only will it be extremely expensive, but it takes up a lot of your time. Every Profit Lab member that I talk to about this situation here, they always say, oh, if I would have only known to actually sign up earlier, I would have saved so much money on the mistakes. That's what I want to point out. The mistakes are costly when you try to go at it on your own because there's that Facebook ad component. Don't let that happen to you. Now you could hire someone to do your Facebook campaign, including your ads. Here's the deal. If someone's really cheap, beware. They likely aren't the best at what they do just yet. If they're really expensive, they're going to want a piece of the pie, meaning the people that are really good at creating these campaigns, they will want a cut of your profit. There is no need to give up that money. You can do this yourself or put together the plan yourself and give it to one of your VAs or someone on your team. Now, the value of the Profit Lab is almost $6,000, but you can get started today with an investment of just $397. But to make it really easy, we've done 3 installments of $147. So one installment today, and then the next one 30 days from now, and then another 30 days. So you can spread it out over time instead of paying it all at once. So if you are interested in signing up for the Profit Lab, all you need to do is go to amyporterfield.com/Chris. When you go there, you'll have all the information to sign up for the program and get started. Now, I want to tell you, we do have one other level that is almost filled up. We've been doing these different webinars for about a week now, and we've been filling up our VIP level. Now, the VIP level is only for the first 100 people that sign up for it. And the reason why it's so exclusive is that you get everything I just mentioned in what we call the independent study level, and you also get 6 weeks of private Facebook group access with me. So over the next 6 weeks, I actually go into a private Facebook group every single day, twice a day, and answer any question you have along the way. So if you're looking for more access to me and more hand-holding, a little bit more attention, that's when you know the VIP level is for you. So I often respond with a mix of written responses, personal videos, images, whatever it takes to make sure you get that personal attention you need. And here's something really cool. Inside the VIP program, I do something that I don't offer anywhere else, and that is once you complete your Facebook marketing plan, I will make you a personalized video going over your lead magnet, your lead capture page, your Facebook ad campaign, and your email autoresponder series. I'm going to review the entire thing for you just to make sure you didn't forget anything. There's no holes. There's no areas that I think you could really make better if you just would tweak here or there. I'm going to give you my own personal review in a video so you know your Facebook marketing plan is ready to go. So if you want that personal attention, the VIP program is valued over $7,000. However, you can get started for just $997 or 3 installments of $397. So you can do 1 installment today and not another for the next 30 days and then 30 days after that. So if you want to join at the VIP level, know that this will sell out probably in the next 3 days. So we're thinking 3 days and the VIP will be shut down, and then you can join at the independent study as well. So I love what Veronica says. She says, I already have recommended Amy's Profit Lab. However, I am insisting that VIP is the only way to go. If you want that extra handholding, VIP is for you. So let's sum it up and then let's get to some Q&A. So here's what you get inside the Profit Lab. You will create your lead magnet. That is, if you jump in with me and you really do this. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
Sorry about that. I could feel it coming on. I was trying to get it back.
We could as well. We thought it was an earthquake here in California.
Oh, please. So you're going to get your lead magnet. You're going to actually create it inside the program. You're going to create your lead capture page, your Facebook page ad campaign, and your email autoresponder. When you join the Profit Lab, this is what we're going to do together. We're going to get it done so it's working for you. In addition, if your goals are to attract more fans, increase your page engagement, grow an email list, and increase your revenue, you are in the right place for sure. So you also get 2 bonuses. If you love this webinar and you love doing webinars with Chris, I have been creating these webinars for over 5 years now. The very first webinar I did, it was with Tony Robbins when I worked with him. He had never done a webinar. I had never done one. And we created one where people paid $100 to get on the webinar. And 800 people had signed up. So it was a really big deal. The night before we were practicing, he was in his office, I was in mine, and I clicked a button and deleted the entire webinar, and everyone got an email that said, this webinar has been canceled the night before. So let me tell you, I lost probably a year off my life that night and realized what really the mistakes you never want to make. But what I know more than anything is how to create a webinar that actually engages people, and also important, how to fill up a webinar. And that's what you'll get in this bonus. I'll give you all of my secrets to create successful webinars that really convert. And in addition to that, I have one more bonus, and that is a look over my shoulder, where I'm actually going to take a Facebook marketing campaign and re-engineer it while I have the video camera on, meaning I'm going to show you what I would change, what I would fix, what I would dive in and actually re-engineer just to make it work. Because that is what you'll want to do. You want to take what you already have and actually re-engineer it or start from scratch. This video will show you exactly how to do it on your own. So here's what's going to happen. When you go to amyporterfield.com/Chris, you're going to see a screen that looks just like this, a web page. You're going to scroll down. You're going to see the grid here of what you can get in the independent study level and the VIP, and you get to make a decision which one is right for you. And then from there, you're actually going to choose. Do you want the installments, or do you want to pay in full for either the independent study level or the VIP level? And then you're just going to scroll down and you're going to actually put in all your information on the order form, and you'll get an email instantly from me welcoming you into the program. At this point, then you're going to get login details to the members area. Now, the program starts, this is important to know, on May 5th. Meaning Module 1, all about how to create your lead capture page, will actually release on May 5th. I release my modules week by week just to ensure that you have the time to actually focus on it, get it done, and then we'll move on. My goal for you is to actually have a plan working at the end of the 6 weeks. The best way to do that is roll out the modules week by week. So May 5th is Module 1. If you're busy, if you've got a lot of things coming up, a trip, don't worry. Everything is recorded. Everything will be in your members area, and you can go back to it again and again for a full year. You will not miss a thing. So there's always a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So if you're not completely happy, I would never, ever want your money. So there is no risk involved to try the Profit Lab. Now, I promised you I'd tell you how to get your hands on this live training I'm doing all about my launches. If you sign up for the Profit Lab while we're still live on this call right now, you will get this backstage pass. I'm going to show you how I actually set up all of my launches. I'll give you my blueprint. You can get all of my launch schedules, how I run my team during a launch, who's on my team, all the essential ingredients. You will also get to see my email marketing strategy, the tools I use, and all the resources. So if you've ever wanted to launch a program, a product, a service online, this is the resource you need. I'll take you behind the scenes with me how to create an online launch. Just a little extra bonus if you take action now. Now, if you have any questions, my girl Gina is standing by. Gina's the project manager of all of my launches. She knows the Profit Lab inside and out, and she knows who's perfect for it. So if you ever like to just get on the phone and talk to someone and ask a question about the program, use this 1-800 number. Gina's literally standing by right now. All you do is you call the number, you leave a quick message, she'll call you back today so that you can hear from her to see if you have any questions about the program. If you're the kind of person that likes to talk to someone, then Gina's your girl. So for the next 15 minutes, I thought, Chris, we would take some questions. If you want to have people post questions in the dashboard there, we can take some questions about the Profit Lab or about Facebook in general.